A long 3, 2, 1. All right.
Good to go.
We're good to go. We are live. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Thank you all for jumping on tonight. So just a quick introduction. I wanted to let you guys all know who we've got here, the handsome man that you're looking at on the other side of the video. This is a good friend of mine, a colleague, Mike Mohan. But more than that, Mike has been a mentor to me. And when I had the opportunity to do the same thing for him, I really grabbed onto that. I know I've talked to a lot of you about some of the challenges that we face when we're trying to reach our health and nutrition goals. Mike's no stranger to that. Mike is one of the hardest working people that I've ever met in my life. He works well over 60 hours a week, probably even more than that. I'm not sure that he actually even sleeps. One of his major job requirements is traveling all over the country to help guide and coach other managers, other reps. He's constantly on the go. When he is at home, he's raising 2 wonderful little children, has a beautiful wife at home. And on top of that, Mike has recently overcome a very serious surgery. To most people, that would look like the odds were clearly stacked against him. But one of the major things that we worked on is the mindset when we're approaching making some major changes like this. So Mike is no stranger to challenge, but that's part of why I wanted to see if I could get a few minutes from his busy schedule and have him share his story with you guys. So Mike, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Problem, man. Thank you.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit more, if you can go into a little bit more depth beyond what I mentioned about what it is you do, who you are.
Yeah, no problem. So just like Corey said, I travel a lot for work. You know, I'm busy. I got 2 boys. They're 3 and 5. A wife, a lot of family around here. I live in Long Island. So just a busy schedule as it is. I love baseball. Like to play softball. Like to do a lot of things with my friends. So always on the go. Recently, about 2.5 years ago, I had some health issues where I had a brain tumor. Thankfully, it was removed. But I really started to feel sorry for myself. People started to come see me and, bring cookies, food, all these things. Throughout my life, I worked out. I was never crazy into fitness, but I was in decent shape. And then next thing I know, I'm sitting at the doctor's office in about late October, early November. And I'm at 245, about 242 pounds. And he's asking me about weight loss options. And my blood pressure was high. He's like, you're going to be candidate for diabetes if you don't get your health on track. And these are things I never thought, that could ever happen to me. So, I was used to being, in my head, probably 200 pounds, but, I was 245 pounds and didn't realize it because it happened gradually. So, to me, I looked the same, but never realized, how big I really got. So that's when I kind of approached Corey because he wanted to start me with some weight loss pills and stuff like that. And I said, no, I want to try it my own way. And me and Corey had talked, we've known each other for a long time. And, he's pitched his program a little bit before, but I was really serious this time and said, I'm done feeling sorry for myself. Every excuse, everyone's busy, everyone travels. I was the type of person that said, all right, I had a bad meal. That means I could be bad this whole week. Or if I'm drinking, all right, it doesn't matter what I eat. So I just kept making bad choices. So Corey kind of motivated me, inspired me to really take charge of my life and start, really calculating my macros, working out, and really hitting goals I never thought I could accomplish.
Such an amazing story. It still gives me the chills to think about how far we've come with this time that we've been working together. Just to clarify, though, the doctor was the one that recommended the pills. You'll never hear that from me.
Yep.
But so obviously, there were some challenges with your health and whatnot. But what were some of the major things that you were struggling with once you got to that point and identified that it was time to make a change? What were the things that were kind of keeping you from being able to make that change before we started on this journey?
A couple things. Number one, what is healthy, right? So one of the things I'd say is like, I want to eat healthy, but there's nothing that says this food's healthy, that food's healthy. You try to eat this time. So I told Corey, yeah, I'm trying to eat healthy. He goes, what is healthy? So in your mind, you think you're eating healthy, but do you really know what healthy is? So, are you eating enough of this stuff? So that was really hard to kind of figure out how to calculate that. Secondly, I'd be on the road and I'd have to make a decision. So I'd have to catch a plane. I have 25 minutes. I won't eat for 4 hours and I need to get something to eat. So right away, you're getting Chick-fil-A, Burger King, whatever you can get. So you're not, planning. So it was just really tough you either starved, right? Then you didn't have any calories or you ate too much. And, I'm somebody who loves to eat. So I also struggled where I'd go too extreme. I'd eat grilled chicken, green beans, and like broccoli and do that for a week. And then I'd binge eat for about 2 weeks, so it was up and down, up and down. So I really struggled in that aspect.
One of the major things that we worked on, right, was kind of creating that balance for you and identifying what it was that actually fueled your body, not necessarily giving up any particular foods, but finding out how to make them work for you and on your schedule. Along with that, what were some of the steps that you found were most beneficial that we implemented initially to really get the ball rolling, to get you started in seeing results?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, first was obviously just exercising, just increasing my exercise. And, Corey was like, just start exercising, start lifting, start doing stuff. He didn't give me anything necessarily to say, you have to do this. So sometimes when you have limitations in a diet, it's tough. Like you want to cheat, you want to not do this. So he's like, just start exercising. Let's just start getting your body used to that. The second thing he had me do was just start actually looking at what I ate. So just with the macros, we started not even really calculating them, just what do you eat? So already when you start seeing it and you look and you have 185 grams of fat in a day, you come to that self-realization that you're not doing the right thing, not him. So I think that's really important where somebody tells you you need to do something and you don't come to that, it's a lot difficult to adhere to it. So those are the steps in the beginning, is just really focusing on what I was currently doing. And then we kind of went into how can I actually change and what kind of choices. The other thing that was really helpful is he didn't limit me to, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. It says, make some healthier choices, and I kind of decided, with Corey, to intermittent fast, right? Because for me, it just worked out for me eating wise in my schedule with traveling and with my lifestyle to just do that. And then this way I can actually plan a little better of what I'm eating. And if I find something I can eat in the morning, I could save it and then kind of eat that, throughout the day versus like, just being on the go eating whenever it is. So it kind of kept me a little more structured. So we decided that together. That just worked for me. I know it doesn't work for everyone, but that really helped me.
And the key, right, is being able to eat what, when, and how you want and still have the results.
No,
so
go ahead.
Well, with that, right, your schedule is still just as busy. You've still got the kids at home.
Yep.
Nothing has eased up for you. As a matter of fact, it's probably more challenging now managing the size and the scope of a business you do with all of this pandemic going on. A lot of uncertainty. So you're dealing with the same stresses that people all around the world are dealing with right now. But then you've also got to manage other people's stress and then still fit in and continue the progress that we've made thus far. So with that in mind, what would you say some of the biggest skills or the single biggest skill that you've developed as a part of the program that still allows you to continue to make progress with all of this craziness?
So before I go to skill, I think the first thing is seeing it work. So for me, and when I first started this, like I said, I was 245. I said, yeah, if I could get to 230, I'd be happy. And then I saw I got to 228. Then I'm like, let me push this even more. So that was the first thing, is the program works. The second thing for me with skills is actually managing food. At first, you're like, how am I supposed to measure food? How am I supposed to know how many ounces? It's tough on the road. I'm barely trying to eat. But then you kind of learn. It's not and I think what Corey kind of taught me, it's like no one's going to have this exactly perfect. But if your intent is right and you try to make good decisions, that you're going to get results. And then next thing I know, I'm 210 pounds and I'm like, wow, I really can even get under 200. So I think for me, it's now the other skills that I realize is pushing my body to different limits. So the things that I was comfortable with, like, like if I wanted abs, I never did abs. I never did cardio. Corey kind of guided me to say, all right, now challenge your body. Now that you can work out just like you couldn't before, now try cardio for 15, 20 minutes or try this. Next thing I know, I'm doing 35 minutes of cardio like 3 times a day. So it's really, sometimes we get comfortable in what we do and we don't know what we can't do. And I think that's kind of what Corey really helped me with, is realizing I can do more and I can push myself and I'll actually enjoy it, you know? So I'm really looking forward to, and for me, I'm a little self-conscious as it is, but I'm confident to, you know, go on the beach or, you know, go on a trip and stuff like that for the first time since I had been married and had kids. So it feels pretty good to feel like that.
That's awesome, man. It really is. It's so great to hear every time I hear you say it. And I want to go back into your results, but before we do that, I want to touch on 2 things you brought up. The first was the weighing and the measuring. A lot of people right now find it difficult or don't have any interest in weighing and measuring. So being someone that's on the go constantly, that's a big part of having that flexibility. That's a big part of your success, right? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So like how I really got successful is planning, right? So every night I kind of plan my meals. It's actually a little easier since I've been home, but I did it on the road. So a couple things was, if I was going to West Virginia, I'd look up some of the places around the hotel that I'm probably going to eat and just have a mindset of a couple different options. I know to some people that might be crazy, but for me, it's like it made life a lot easier too. When people are like, where you want to eat? I'm like, I want to go right here, right? They have brown rice or they have chicken,
Yeah.
grilled chicken, or even they have good steak, like, you know, so it really helped me just planning and really doing that. Now, in terms of measuring and food and stuff like that, I was like that in the beginning. I didn't measure anything. And then when I realized that I really wanted to exceed my goals, then I was like, I'm going to get better at this and I want to be perfect, right? So the crazy thing about this measuring and macro stuff is that you find yourself sometimes, like when you measure and you do everything perfect, you're like, wow, I actually need more food. Or actually I could have cheese. Like I actually need more fat. So, or I could actually have ice cream or something with dessert because I'm not eating enough calories. So, you know, it's like a game, I really think, and it becomes fun. And it's like, all right, I can actually eat 9 ounces of steak, not 10, but all right, you know what, that's good enough for me. So it kind of became something where I became interested and I just wanted to get those results. And I'm a very driven person, as Corey said, like I want to see, you know, how far I can go, and measuring just has taken me to the next level. And as a lot of the things in my fitness pal, you can save. And if you start buying the same foods or eating the same places, or just even asking the restaurants, hey, how many ounces is that? They know, you know, like I thought things were
Mhm.
bigger. Like fish a lot of times is 5 to 6 ounces. I thought it was 10. So just asking questions helps you, and you know, you'll get it, and you'll get your mindset of what things really are.
And the big thing that I'm taking away is you're choosing a lot of healthy, nourishing foods because you're seeing the impact that it has on your performance in the gym, but you're still enjoying the foods that you love, an ice cream, a candy bar, a pizza, time with the family and the friends. We're social beings. So being able to still enjoy that, that's what I love to hear from my clients and to hear from you. So the other thing that I wanted to ask you before, and you kind of touched on it in what you were just saying, but you're a very driven guy. There's no denying that. And one of the things that allows you to be so driven is how tough you are mentally. But still, there was a hurdle for us to overcome as far as your mentality with the approach here. But during your time with this program, we met, exceeded, and set new goals. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about how your mentality changed, your mindset kind of developed to be able to stay successful with this?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's tough. I mean, there's times where you're like, I just want to go off the deep end. I want to eat everything, and I want to just not do this anymore. But like for me, my mentality was it's working, and I find myself at times where I'm like, I'm not going to put that in the app. Next thing I know, I change my app and I put it in. It's just I am just so programmed to do this. It's second nature now, and you know, we've made things that we adapted because I think we actually adapted with a little more calories in certain places because my activity was increasing. And that's the beauty of this also too, is that the mentality is if you want more, you can ask Corey and say, listen, I'm willing to do this. What can I do? And not to bring up something, but something that was pretty crazy was during this time, I actually got the flu. And I actually called Corey. I was like, listen, I love my results. I don't want to screw this up. How many calories do I eat? And he's like, listen, bring them down 300 calories, just kind of bring everything down, whatever the protein percentage is. And I maintained my weight during the flu. I know it's pretty crazy, but I didn't lose a minute, right? So I think this program's awesome. That, and then mentality wise too, Corey encourages you. Let's just say you have a bad day. The difference is the mentality difference is when I had a bad day or a bad meal in the past, I would just continue going off the deep end where it's like, just start over. It's like you had a bad day, your body is going to react to it. And that's good. It actually encourages you. I encourage myself mentality wise. Like I came up with like, all right, I'm going to eat out. You know, you can't eat every meal at home. So I'm going to eat out a couple times a day. And here are a couple of the staples that are not as great for me to help my mental state and help me not go. So like, I even have times where my wife's like, what do you want to go eat? And I'm like, I'm actually good with the meal I have prepared. I don't need anything. And that's not like me. So I think that's the mental part of it that Corey really helps you with, is that your mindset is like, you want to jump off, but if you actually have the opportunity to do that, you'll stay within the program. And I think that's the beauty of this. And what he does is that it kind of grounds you to actually make some decisions and have what you want, but it actually encourages you once you do that. Like Memorial Day, I went off, I texted him and he's like, don't worry about it, just keep going. And this week I actually want to be strict because I want to continue the results, but I was really happy that I had a great time on Memorial Day, had a couple drinks, had some food I'd normally not eat. And honestly, today I weighed in the lowest I weighed in since this time. So I bounced right back.
So with that, you mentioned the results. Tell everybody exactly what your results were, because we've gone down the path so far with you from the 242 to the 230, 228. Where are you at now? What's been the total overall result?
Yeah, so let's just say November, I started around 242, 245. Today I weighed in at 198.8. So, and
blew through that part, 200.
You know, I was always an XL. I still fill out my XL, right? I mean, for the little bit, I maybe could be a large and kind of squeeze into it, but I kept a pretty good amount of muscle mass. Obviously, it's been tough for everyone with gyms being closed and stuff like that. I'm lucky to have some Bowflex dumbbells and do the best I can. But I'm really happy with my results, because one of the biggest things I did enjoy, and this is where I struggle, was I like being a bigger person. I like, you know, having muscle. I didn't want to just lose weight. I've seen so many people who lost weight and they lost all muscle mass. So it's, yeah, you weigh 200 pounds, but you're not, you know, you don't have any muscle on you. So I think that's an easy thing to do sometimes. So for me, the results have been even more awesome, because it's like I still have muscle mass and people are like, oh wow, you have your size, how'd you lose that much weight? And I keep telling Corey, I'm like, I never thought I'd be 198. I'm like, when do I stop? And he goes, well, just keep losing body fat and see where you are. So I mean, it could come to a point where I'm at 192, 188, who knows? But I'm kind of going as hard as I can and seeing where I can get to. You know, it's summer, it's fun, and then I'll kind of get back to the weight I want to get to.
Well, plus now you got you and your cousin right in the same weight range. So you guys are kind of competing, and I know how that goes in your family. So
I got to make sure I, you know, beat it out. So,
but it's all about having that right balance so that you can maintain the muscle mass. And you've done a great job of that. But besides looking like a Greek god, a statue carved by one of the old architects back in the day, how else has the results that you've gotten, the tools that you've learned, the mindset shift that you've had, how has it impacted other parts of your life, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is just a plus, right? So for me, I was one of those people who, couple things, I woke up every morning and people used to say, I feel so great. I felt terrible. Like I was always tired. I could sleep 10 hours. I was tired. I could sleep 5 hours. I'm tired. Sleep 8 hours. I'm tired. I was so lethargic. I mean, I just didn't have any energy. And for the job I do, I didn't know how I did it. And I didn't know. I'm one of those people who, old school mentality, my parents are immigrants that just said, keep pushing, this is life. So the biggest thing for me is, number one, I have more energy. I sleep better. I have more energy when I wake up. I'm able to play with my kids, like, you know, and do stuff like run around with them, bend. Like I had a bad back. My back is doing so much better. And that's also along with, you know, some of the programs my chiropractor put me to, but it's like 500 times better for me not to be able to go to the chiropractor, where I swear by him for 2.5 months and survive. I wouldn't have been able to do it weighing 245. So from a life aspect of just, doing that, I'm excited to get on the ball field and see what I can do at 200 pounds or 195, where last year I was 245 pounds playing. So it's pretty amazing to just see that aspect of it from an athletic aspect. From a mentality, this has really taught me that like I can stick with something, I can exceed my goals, I can adapt. It's really helped me to realize that, what, you can, if you take control of your life, that's what you're going to get from it, along with some other things. But this has really been something I've always wanted to do. And, I'm not there, I'm 100% there yet, but I'm near maybe 90% of where I want to be. And I never even thought I would even get anywhere close to that. So I think that's really, really helped me. And that means more to me than the weight and, what I look like.
Yeah, I mean, that's for me, that's one of the most exciting parts of it. Obviously, I like to see the changes that you made physically, and I know that was the initial goal coming in, but you've always been that push for me in a mentality wise in our other life. And in that profession, oftentimes your goals are set for you. So yeah, you do a great job of overachieving and helping others drive to meet and exceed their goals, but we don't get to choose our goals in that realm. Here, I've watched you set goals, blast through them, and just like that, it's time for a new one. And all of a sudden, the effort increases. So seeing that evolution, it gives me the same inspiration that I hope that I've given you for the areas where we work together outside of this. So it's a beautiful thing for me to see kind of come full circle, if you can call it that. So the last question I'll ask you is, and you've done probably touched on this quite a bit already, but if you could put a bow on it, somebody who's on the fence, not sure whether or not they should jump in and kind of take that leap of faith, what would you say to them? Someone who's debating whether or not to take that next
Yeah.
step.
I mean, listen, I've had so many people who've come up to me and they're like, what kind of diet you've been on? What are you doing? Like, what are you eating? And for those people on the fence, is you can ease into this. It's not going to be one of those things where you're giving a list of what to do. You can customize it. So for me, I like pancakes. I made whole wheat pancakes with almond milk and egg whites, and I love it now. So my thing is that you can do whatever you want to do. This makes it creative. It makes it fun, and it's not the weight. It's how you're going to feel, how your body's going to feel. This is your body. You got to take care of it, and not only from, like I said, a weight standpoint, but now my A1Cs are perfect. My cholesterol is perfect. I'm healthy. It's everything in life. So if you love life and you have kids or you have family or you have things that are important, take care of yourself. And this is a step that's easy. And the best thing about this program is it's not a program, it's a lifestyle change. So even if I kind of want to come out of this, I'm so programmed at this point where I want to do this. Like, it's like I have the opportunity to say, you know what, I don't have to do this today. I do it naturally, and it's something I want to do. And I think that's the best part of it, is that a lot of these keto diets and this low carbs are fads and you gain it back. These are sustainable results where, we'll see, but like you continue to burn and you change your body's course versus a couple months you look good and then you're back where you started. So I think that that's the best thing I can say, is that it's not going to be a fad. It's going to be a mindset change, and it's going to be a lifestyle change.
Thank you, Mike. I think that's it too, is the big thing, what you're saying right there, talking about the sustainability. That's ultimately what we strive for. And though you've had some bumps and bruises, like we mentioned, you're still dealing with all the craziness. Your schedule hasn't gotten any easier, but it's been an extended period of time. So if we look at the big picture of how long it's been a struggle to try and get there versus how long you've been able to maintain these impressive results, for me, that's just beautiful to see. So I commend you, because yes, we've got the trio diet. We've talked about the transformative cognition accelerator, how we shifted that mindset, but the work that actually gets done, that's all you. So I appreciate more than anything how much you've given to this program and how committed you've been to yourself. And I appreciate you coming on tonight and sharing with everybody how you were able to do that, how you've overcome all of these challenges as they keep coming at you and had such amazing results. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm sure everybody else who was watching really appreciates it. It's a very, very dynamic view of how successful people can be. And I know from me personally, you do a damn good job of keeping me motivated on a day-to-day basis. So if anybody's watching this and not feeling fired up right now, I'd be surprised. So thank you so much. I appreciate the time. I know you're super busy,
No
but
problem. Thank you.
I'm going to drop off the live. If you don't mind hanging on one sec, I just want
Yeah,
to wrap
sure.
with you real quick.
Of course. Thank you,
And
everyone.
this